Okay. Najprej en pozdrav v slovenskem jeziku, dobrodošli na naši novi zgodbi, tretja po vrsti. Zdaj smo ravno začeli s temi dogodki, tako da res tudi lepo obiskani. Hvala vsem, ki ste prišli in ste si vzeli čas. Now I will switch to English. We announced everywhere that the event will be in English, so if you will need some help with translation at the end, Katja and I will gladly help you. Okay, so welcome to new event at our beautiful cafe, Moja Zgodba, My Story. And for all of you who are with us for the first time today, whether live or watching this event on our YouTube channel, let me introduce the idea of my husband. My husband is there, Gregor. Maybe you know him already. Gregor always says, every guest steps into the cafe has their own story. And he decided that he will give them the opportunity to share it with us. So that's how these wonderful monthly events were born. So today I am beyond thrilled to be able to greet an extraordinary person right here in Slovenia for the first time. The head trainer for Western Europe of the Heal Your Life program, Eileen Clair. Heal Your Life program is a program that was designed by Louise Hay many years ago. And to give you a little insight how we met, how I met Eileen, I was in Ireland when I was completing my coaching license, and then I returned to Ireland for a whole month to learn how to set up a holistic center in my town. And I also assisted in her trainings, where she was training teachers from all over the world, and that they can best share Louise Hay's work. So please give her another big round of applause. And before we start, I would like to greet my dear friend Katja 𝐄𝐤𝐥𝐞𝐞𝐧. Please stand up. And please just come here that the audience on YouTube channel can see you too. So hi, this is Katja. Katja is specialized in business training, the so-called managing with heart and mind. She's really committed to bringing emotional intelligence to the work environment. And we met in Ireland as well. She's Slovene, but we met in Ireland when she was completing her license as a workshop leader, and we are always happy to work together. Today we have a surprise prepared for you at the end of the event, but first it's time for this wonderful talk now. Yes. So, dear Eileen, our guests are, I'm sure they're really curious about your story with Louise Hay. But first, tell us please, how did you find her philosophy?
Firstly, thank you all for your patience in listening to me speak English. I wish I could speak in Slovakian, Slovenian, but I cannot, I am so sorry. I will speak as slowly as I can, and hopefully Pedro will translate if anything is necessary, and Katja. I am delighted to be here, and I would like to thank Gregor especially for his idea of the story, because that's exactly how I met Louise Hay. One of the first things that I heard about Louise Hay was her book, and we have her book here tonight. And I'm an avid reader, I love reading, but Louise's book really caught my interest because she doesn't just tell her story and stay stuck in her story, or she doesn't tell her story and say, how great am I, this is what I have done with my life. She tells her story and says, if I can do this, anybody can. And that to me spoke from my heart, that she was a humble, ordinary woman who was willing to make great changes in her life and who was willing to inspire other people to do the same thing. And I always had a passion for wanting to make life better, not just for myself, but for those around me. And a real belief that community, and a good community, thinking in a positive manner, can change the world. And each community starts with one person. And so Louise's community is with us in 72 countries today. And it all started with one woman bringing together 5 people who needed healing in her own home. And it grew from there right across the world. And I came across her book in the early 90s, perhaps in the 80s. And when I read the book, I realized it was more than a story. It was a series of very ordinary, everyday exercises that you could do that would help you to change the one thing that you have total control over, and that is how you think. Our exercises focus on you changing what you think, and that changes what you are looking at, and that in turn changes your life. It's that simple. And then the other beautiful thing about her book is that at the back of the book there are a series of letih sentences that say if something is wrong in your body, there may be an emotion that is causing you to hold this illness. And if you are willing to look at how you can change your emotions, letting go of fear, learning to trust, letting go of anger, bringing in hope, then you can begin to change the physical body and let go of ailments. And I have seen miracle after miracle happen with this. So that was my introduction to Louise.
Perfect. And how has Louise Hay's philosophy helped you in your life?
Oh my goodness, in every possible way. But one of the biggest ways in my early days of journeying with Louise's philosophy was as a young mother, and also as somebody who was building my own business. And if anybody here has reared children, you know that if there is anything that will challenge you in life, it is trying to raise a family. And I found Louise's philosophy was fabulous for helping me to understand that being able to forgive myself for not being as perfect as I thought I should be. And as society expects that us young women in those days should be in terms of rearing our family and being able to keep everything else afloat, that if I could begin to forgive myself for not being perfect, well, I could give my children the freedom to not be perfect, to be exactly who they were meant to be. And I think that to me is the best thing that I have learned from Louise's philosophy, the willingness to forgive and to set people free. It's a huge gift to be able to give young people and ourselves.
Correct. Has healing always been a part of your life or your career path, it's better to say, or was there something else that called you to this work?
Yes, my career path, like both of you ladies, did not start in healing or in healing therapies. It started in sales, believe it or not. But I was always passionate about the idea that the body had an ability to be strong and be healthy if we looked after it. I had severe problems with my health when I was young, and many of my family members were lost through ill health. And I really felt drawn to the idea of finding a way to live in a manner that allowed me to be as healthy as I could possibly be. And that is the path that Louise gave me, and it changed my health completely.
Even with your eyes, we just talked today. Yeah. Because I asked her, how you don't have a glasses? I don't understand, because I have a glasses now for reading, and I'm 45. So, will you share this story in short?
Yes, I had glasses since I was 14 years of age, and I would take off my glasses and I would see nothing but a blur of people. I could not see faces. And I spent many, many years using Louise' philosophy of affirmations, which is, Louise believes that if you affirm that something has happened and you have a passion for wanting it to happen and you hold that thought, then it will happen. So I affirmed for many years that I could see perfectly without my glasses. And it happened 2 years ago. I forgot to affirm that I wouldn't need medical treatment in order to lose my glasses, but I did. And I can happily say now I see everything perfectly, I can read perfectly, and it's a gift, and a gift of modern medicine, as well as Louise's affirmations.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, why did you choose to go deeper into Louise Hay's work?
Okay, as I said, I have a passion for wanting to find a means to help people to live their best lives. And I think it's up to each and every one of us to live our own best life. And I cannot decide for anybody else what their best life is. And Louise's work was the pathway for that. And as soon as I heard it, I wanted to do more. I wanted to learn more. I run a healing centre in my own town in Ireland. And I wanted to bring this to as many people as I could. My intention when I opened my healing centre was that it would be available to ordinary people, because I opened it at a time where you were considered to be a bit out of the ordinary if you were in healing therapies. And I affirmed that it would be available to ordinary families and be meaningful to every member of the family, not just women, but men and children. And a number of years ago, I treated the 4th generation of the first person that came to my centre. So I thought that was success. Yes.
It really was.
Okay, this is the most important question.
Okay.
Can you share an anecdote about how you first met Louise Hay in person?
In person. Okay. Well, actually, the first time I met Louise Hay in person, I didn't really meet her.
I know.
You know. I had followed her and I had been looking for, I felt that I could build a community based on Louise Hay's work, but I did not know who to come to my centre to allow me to build this community. And so I built a room and I affirmed that Louise Hay work would take place in this room. And I could not find anybody. And at the time, one of my clients happened to be a member of the Kennedy family from the US. And she came to me one day and said, you know, my family personally know Louise, and she is coming to Ireland for a visit, and I will organise for you to meet her. But I didn't go, because I was afraid that she may not be as real as I expected her to be. And so Caroline went herself and told Louise about me, and Louise said, tell Eileen if she wants this work in Ireland, she needs to get off her butt and do it herself. And so that is exactly what I did. That was the start of it. And then I did meet her afterwards, and she laughed to think that I was so concerned about meeting her.
Okay. So what approach do you use in your holistic center, and where do you see the most success?
I would have to say, and you probably know this also, Petra, that most people come to healing centers because they have something physical wrong with them. And I find the most success is when you can bring the mind and the body together, when you can recognize that very often what is wrong with you physically may also be connected to the way you're thinking, to a stress that's going on in your life, to an emotion that you might not be prepared or ready to look at, to a sadness. I see a lot of people coming to my centre who are physically ill because they're sad. Sad because they've lost somebody, sad because their life hasn't turned out as they expected. And sadness can keep us very stuck in ill health. And so I find that a lot of people come because they're physically ill and stay because the treatment frees them from the emotion and the story that they're stuck in. and it brings light, and it brings love, and it brings joy into their life. And one of the nicest things that we can learn to do in the healing therapy is to help a person to see the love in them, not in anybody else, but in themselves.
And this is Heal Life Coaching.
Your life work.
What changes do you notice in your clients after the workshops or after coaching?
Yes. One of the biggest changes you notice is that they're lighter. Yes, you have seen that, both of you ladies. It's beautiful because it feels like people come with a heaviness and being weighed down, and there is an energy that is a little bit grey, and you help them to release the emotions and to get more in touch with their real self and to recognize that they deserve to be healthy, deserve to be happy, and you can feel the lightness. That's what I love to see. And for many people, we carry it physically here in our back, and you see that disappear. Yes, physically see it disappear.
And why is this approach so different to other holistic approaches or therapy?
For me, the Heal Your Life work is something that you bring into your ordinary everyday life. It is not something that you go away from life to do. And I spent many years when I was studying different therapies. I spent many years trying to learn how to meditate, and it really was not something that I managed, because I am very much a person that likes to get things done, and sitting for an hour meditating before I could do my work did not appeal to me. And with the Louise Hay work, I discovered that my work is my meditation, that everything that I do, whether it is making a bed or doing my washing, so long as I am there doing it, and so long as I can be joyful about doing it, then I am making a difference. It's only when I find that I am doing something that I do not like doing, I can feel my muscles tightening up, and I'm thinking, you're doing this with the wrong attitude, lady. You need to be peaceful. And it works. Yes? Does that answer?
Yes, of course. Yes. So you became a master teacher. Why? Why was this your path?
Because it was needed, very simply. Ireland is a small island, and if we want to do anything, we have learned to do it for ourselves. And so this work was not available in Ireland, and I thought, well, why isn't it? Why isn't it? And eventually Louise said, well, if you want it, you do it. And so I did it. And now I also do the training in the UK and for the English-speaking people across Europe, across the world now, really. It's fantastic. We had a group recently of 12 people for training in the UK from 12 different countries with 12 languages. But all spoke English, thankfully.
So Louise gave us many tools. Yes, for self-work. Some are the same described in this book. And which ones do you use the most, or maybe which one is your favorite?
This is a lovely question. I love this. Louise, if any of you are familiar with her, in recent times, Louise's work has become well known for affirmations, and everybody's talking about positive thinking and affirmations, and that is good, but it is really not the core of Louise's work. If you are positive, but underneath all your emotions are very sad still, the positive affirmation is only just a bandage. It is not getting rid of the problem. So to me, and Louise herself said that this is what she really wanted to be remembered for, one simple exercise that everybody can do every day without taking a moment extra into their day. And that is very, very simply mirror work. How many people look at themselves in the mirror every day? We all do, don't we? Whether it's to comb your hair, or have a shave, or put on some cream, or whatever it's for. This is a gorgeous mirror. Yes, heart-shaped. Louise would love it.
It's from India. Katya brought it.
And so the idea of mirror work is that you start seeing yourself in your life. Very often we look, and when we look, we criticize. We see the wrinkles and we see the hair not right and we see all sorts of things wrong. But when we see, we can begin to feel for ourselves. And when you see a small child, you will hold their face and you will say, oh, you are beautiful. Imagine if you could do that to yourself every single day. That's what mirrors are for. That is what mirrors are for, to see yourself in the morning and to say, you're doing okay. And to even say, I'm sorry, if you were a little bit sad for something. What I like to do, and what I've done for many years, is I wink at myself. Wherever there's a mirror, I say, you're doing well. Hi there. Yeah. A wink is nice, isn't it? Yeah, see, I got you all laughing with it. It's good. It is light. But it's important that we see ourselves. It's important that we are kind to ourselves. And in order to be kind to ourselves, we need to have simple, everyday exercises. My big one, I had a friend who was going through a very, very sad time. And I suggested to her that every day when she was putting on her cream in the morning, she would say, I nurture myself with love today. I give myself love. Just as she was putting on her cream. That was many years ago, and I often hear her telling people that it was something that saved her life. Mm-hmm. So mirror work is powerful. Try it. Try it.
Today. Can you share how it helped you with your challenges? Let's say one example.
Oh wow. How does one pick one example of it? Mirror work for me, one of the big things that I like to do in mirror work is the forgiveness. Mm-hmm. So being able to forgive myself for not being the person I think I should be, and being able to forgive others for not behaving as I would like them to be. And again, you know, with children growing up, we want them to have everything easy, and sometimes they have their own challenges. And this happened with one of my sons, with a teacher who was not very kind to him and did not understand him as I thought he should be understood. And I did forgiveness work in the mirror for her, forgiving her for not being the teacher I expected her to be, and I set her free. And completely and utterly unexpectedly, she left the school. So, yes, mirror work is powerful for anything, because you see yourself in the story you're telling and you know what you need to change. So practice.
Yes.
Practice.
Practice. And now we will practice, because they say people remember best when they experience something for themselves. So can we do a mini exercise here?
Please, yes, but I think for all of you being so patient, we will not do it in English. You will do it. Okay. We will do a little, what is called an awareness exercise, to give you a moment to see, is there anything in your life that you think you could change? And mostly the thing that we have the most control over in our lives is our thinking. So we will do an exercise to see, is there any thought that you could change in your day that might make a difference to your life? And they tell us that we have 75,000 thoughts a day, and you get to change one.
Okay, now I will switch in Slovenian for this exercise. Tako, kot sem povedala prejle, da si ljudje najbolj zapomnimo, kadar naredimo kakšno vajo. Tako da zdaj smo pripravili eno čisto kratko vajo ozaveščanja. Kot je povedala Eileen, kar 75,000 misli imamo v našem umu, in če lahko spremenimo eno, je to super. Tako da jaz bi vas povabila, da se samo naslonite nazaj, po čisto kratko nekaj bom prebrala. Zaprete oči, tisti, ki želite. Globoko vdihnete. In se samo prepustite mojim besedam. Predstavljajte si, da ste doma, da se prebujate, in ko se prvič zbudite, samo opazujte, kakšne so vaše tipične misli. Ali ste hvaležni, da živite in se veselite novega dneva? Ali ste nevtralni? Ali se bojite vstajanja? Samo opazujte. Zdaj se zavedajte svojih misli, ko se pripravljate na dan. Bodi si na delo, bodi si na druge dejavnosti, pa če ne hodite več v službo, če ste samo doma, dopoldne, o čem razmišljate? Ko se oblačite in ko se pogledate v ogledalu, kako se odzovate? Kakšne misli vam grejo takrat po glavi? In zdaj se usedete v avto in se vozite na delo ali pa na kakšen opravek. Kaj se vam takrat poraja po glavi? Samo opazujte. In zdaj pridete na delovno mesto. Kako se odzovete, ko vidite svoje sodelavce, svojega šefa, če ste v šoli, svoje sošolce? Pa če ne hodite več v službo, ko greste v trgovino, ko vidite vse tiste ljudi, ki čakajo na blagajni. Ali jih obsojate, ali veste, da ta trenutek delajo po svojih najboljših močeh, kar zmorejo. In zdaj je čas za kosilo. Ko si pripravite obrok, a vas skrbijo kalorije, a se počutite dobro, kar ste izbrali za pojest. Samo opazujte. In zdaj se zavedajte svojih tipičnih misli, ko nadaljujete dan. Se vračate domov ali v kakšne druge dejavnosti. Katere so vaše misli? Ko vidite svoje domače, ko se umiri dan, kaj vam gre po glavi? In zdaj že ležite v postelji, pripravljate se na počitek. Kakšne so vaše običajne zadnje misli? In zdaj, ko razmišljate o celotnem dnevu, se morda zavedate, zdaj v tem trenutku, na katerih mestih bi lahko spremenili svoje misli. In v mislih si zdaj povejte, v tišini, zdaj se sprejemam točno takšnega, kot sem, ali takšno, kot sem, in zlahka izbiram misli, ki me hranijo. In predstavljajte si, da se pogledate v ogledalo in rečete, rada se imam. Rad se imam. Zdaj pa en globok vdih, pa izdih. Pa lahko pridete nazaj, če nekdo že zaspal. Zdaj čisto še kot en zaključek, mogoče skozi to vajo ste se zavedali kakšnih misli, katerih lahko spremenite, ne? In če že samo eno danes, bo to en velik uspeh za vse nas in vas.
Thank you. What a beautiful voice. I have no idea what you said, but I could just listen. So beautiful. Did you enjoy?
Yeah.
Yes, beautiful. Thank you, Victor.
Thank you for suggesting to do this exercise. Okay, so what would you advise someone who just started, who knows that he needs something to do on themselves, but doesn't know where to start?
I think for many people the starting point is the book. To read the book, to get it is not a book that you read from cover to cover. It is a book that you open, and you will always open it on a page that is meaningful. We get many people who come to our workshops and to our trainings that say, at the right moment, the book fell from the shelf. And yes, we hear this. And so the book is a very good place to start, but really, for many people with this work, support is so important because it's a journey, it's a life's journey, you are growing as a person, and we were never meant to grow in isolation, to be on our own. And so that is where workshops, I believe, workshops are fantastic. I believe coming together with a community of like-minded people willing to commit and do this work. And the only commitment you need is to be willing to being open to bringing change into your life. That is the only thing that you need. You do not need to know how to do it, you simply need to be willing. And then the right people, we always say that the right people come together in each group, and they do. And in general you will find you will have support for life from the people that you do your first 2-day workshop with. From many people that stay in touch for years and years. So I think for me personally, if I had the opportunity, I would have loved to have started with a workshop. But because I hadn't the opportunity to have a workshop, I started with the book, and look where it led me. So
yes, I started the same with the book. It was a gift for my wedding. And I read it on a plane going to Seychelles, and this how all this began for me. Yeah, started.
Wow.
Okay, and Louise Hay used to conduct a 2-day workshop in the 80s already that achieved amazing results. That's why you are proposing that to us as well. Can you tell us more about this exclusive workshop?
Yes. Louise saw the need for people to come together in a manner where they could be honest about what they think and what they feel, and that they could support and be supported by one another. And her work started with a number of men who were very, very ill, and nobody was offering them any hope. And she started working with them in her apartment, just 6 people, and she said very quickly that their mothers asked could they come also. Interesting. The mothers saw the value of and also wanted to be able to support her. And within a very short space of time, that group grew to hundreds because people could see the difference in the people that Louise was working with. And her work was very simple. It was that if you want to change something in your life, the first thing you need to do is learn to love and like yourself. And then you can love and like others. But if you are constantly expecting other people to change so that you can love and like yourself, you are constantly giving your power away to another person. And so for these people that she started with, even though it was physical illness, their problem was that they were not accepted in their community, and they expected other people to change so that they could feel better. And instead, Louise said, love yourselves as you are, and your community of love will grow. And that is what happened. And that is what our workshops are about. They are about looking at your life, not pointing the finger at anybody else. And they are about saying, I can change. I can change my life. Not meeting somebody or somebody else changing the way they speak to me will change my life, but I can change my own life. And I think that is the most powerful statement. And so her workshops were put together in a series of exercises that allows you to understand that your thinking, really, if it starts with your thinking, it's just a thought. But then very often we will give words to our thoughts, which make them even more real. And underneath those words, there are feelings and emotions. And if we work only at the level here, we are not bringing about real change because the feelings and the emotions stay. So her workshops are there to help you understand what you're thinking, what needs to change, start speaking differently, start looking at what emotions are good for you and what emotions you need to let go of. I firmly believe there are no bad emotions. We just do not know how to speak about them and how to connect with others in a manner that is healthy. And then, what do you want to bring into your life? Because like everything else, if we're letting something go, unless we're quite definite about what we want instead, we just bring the same stuff back in, don't we? Anybody ever empty a wardrobe and then put all the stuff back in again? Yes, yes, yes. It's the same with thinking. So does that explain it?
Mm-hmm.
Great,
yes.
Great.
And the question is, why do we still use it like it was original?
Because we're still the same. People all the world over, every generation, it is the same. We think we change, but really all that changes is our language and perhaps our technology and the houses that we live in. But at our core, we are still people that want to love and be loved, to be understood, to be what we consider to be successful, to have comfort and to have joy. And every generation is the same. And what we need, so the work that Louise did, back in the 70s is still as valid today. And like 𝐿𝐸𝐿, I bring this into some businesses, and you read something that Louise wrote in the 1980s, and in the business world, they will say, wow, that is really relevant. Mm-hmm. Businesses have changed, technology have changed, but people still want to be heard, to be listened to know what it is to love and be loved. And it's that simple. And that's Louise's philosophy.
Mm-hmm. And why is this two-day workshop so important?
Well, to me, actually one of the nicest things that was said to me about the two-day workshop was from somebody who had gone through quite a lot of trauma, and she had a lot of counselling which she needed and which was absolutely valuable to her. And my son is a counsellor and psychotherapist, so I have great respect for that work. But she said that helped her to live with her trauma, and the two-day workshop helped her to let it go. And I think that is fantastic, that we can, and all of us live through trauma, but it's holding on to the pain of it, holding on to the stories in our head, holding on to this is who I am because this is what happened to me. That's what does the real damage. When we can say like Louise, this is what happened, this is who I am, I have changed, and so can you. Well, that's living. And that's what our two-day workshop does. And 2 days with like-minded people changes you completely.
But some people say, today this is a lot and we don't have time. And what would you say to them?
Yes. How many people feel they wouldn't be able to give 2 days? The family is more important, I couldn't get 2 days off work, 2 days is too long. We all think it. But to me, and what I say to people from my heart is, we also offer coaching, one-to-one coaching, which is fabulous for people who are concerned about groups or not being able to speak in a group, or that may want the security of working one-to-one with a person. Coaching is also wonderful for helping to move on after your workshop if you've touched on something very, very deep. But I say to people, I will coach you for 2 years, or you can come for a 2-day workshop. So it's either 2 years of your time or 2 days. I would pick 2 days. And that genuinely is the power of the workshop. You get through so much,
And there is so much support and such a beautiful way of delivering it that it brings incredible change. But for many people, they're not ready, and the coaching is a fabulous step-by-step way of doing it. So it's not either or, sometimes it's both together. But to me, it's the 2-day workshop first. Yes.
It's the best.
The fast.
Based on your experiences, what do you think triggers the aha moment in people?
I think you may have triggered some tonight, Petra. I think that aha moments come when people realise that they have been thinking the same thought for years and years, and it's been getting them nowhere. And it literally is that simple. If you keep thinking the same thought, you know, there is a saying that if you're walking down the road and there's a hole in the road and you fall in, you get back up, and the next day you're going, you walk down the road again, you fall. You keep doing the same thing, you will keep falling in the hole. And the aha moments come when you realise, oh my goodness, that's what I've been doing. You know, the mirror work helps you with that, the daily awareness, all the exercises in our workshop really are designed to help you to understand what's going on in your own head, in your own heart, and not the story you've been telling yourself, but the real part of it. And it brings changes.
Yes.
Yes, that is the one thing about the workshop, be willing to change.
What is the common challenge for all people, no matter what they do, how much money they have, or how successful they are? What would you say?
And I do think that, you know, that says it all, that we think that our job is important to us, or having money is important, or being seen as being successful in society is important. But really, the most important thing is to know that we deserve to be loved and to be happy. That is the most important thing. If you do not believe that you deserve to be successful, you may become successful, but you will lose it again. Inside, you will not feel it. The best feeling is to feel happy with who you are inside. So the important thing really for everybody is to fill themselves with value. Know that you are of value in your life, not in anybody else's life. That does not matter. To be of value in your own life is the most important thing, regardless of what you decide to do. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Very much. And we find this regularly in coachings, where we go deeper, and we always find the same answer, I would say. So what is the goal or purpose of a coaching?
Yes. Because coaching for many people is about having a goal and deciding, you know, I want to change one part of my life. I would like to achieve something. I would like to be successful in my work, or I would like to have a relationship or a better relationship. And there is often a goal in coaching. But in Heal Your Life coaching, it is very, very much about going inward and finding out what is it that truly gives you peace. Mm-hmm. That is the difference. The focus is not out there. The focus is on working with the person in a manner that is appropriate for them and having a vision of the best possible version of this person. So you see a person through the eyes of love. And the journey with the Heal Your Life coaching is to help you to see yourself through the eyes of love. Because many of us see ourselves through the eyes of judgment and not good enough and wishing we were somebody else and comparing ourselves to somebody else. So as a Heal Your Life coach, what we aim to do is to allow you to bring love into your life. So when you look in the mirror, you see through the eyes of love. And then when you look around you, you see through the eyes of love. And so it changes your relationship with everybody, whether it's a family member that you love dearly or a family member that really annoys you, you see through the eyes of love. Yes.
You said it so nice.
Thank you.
We can help people in different ways. So as we said before, either in groups, through workshops, or individually through coaching. And when is it best to choose coaching? and when is it best or more beneficial to attend a workshop?
And for some, it is a question of, you know, have you family commitments? Can you get away for the 2 days? Or if you're offering 1 day workshops. But for many people, it is getting used to the work. Some people are slow to speak in groups, or even the idea of themselves coming into a group. And one-to-one coaching is great to help you build confidence in yourself, to help you understand yourself. And some people are more comfortable with having the support of a coach. To me, I like to do things quickly, I like to see results, and therefore the 2-day workshop is the magic. It really is. It's the fastest way. If anybody is impatient and want to bring real change into their life. One of the nicest things about the 2-day workshop I find is that a lot of time a person will come to it and then they will send their partner. And the partner will come because they will have seen the change in the person and they want to know what has happened. And I think that's one of the nicest things. Or somebody will come and they will send their daughter or their son. And it's available to everybody of all ages. And the only difference between the workshops and the coaching is the workshop is something that is done over a 2-day or a 1 day. And then you can continue at a pattern. Some people like to connect in with their Heal Your Life workshop leader once a month for a quick coaching session. And some people never need any more. It's very, very much an individual. But to me, it's a growth of community. I like people to keep in touch. And so we will often do online, you know, for an hour with a group afterwards, just to check in and see how people are doing. And that's lovely. And the community grows around the world. It is definitely... Coaching is easier for people who are a time problem because you can do coaching in person and you can do it online. I know, Pedro, you've coached people in Germany, and yes, we've coached all around the world, and you also catch us. So it's not, coaching allows you to connect with people from many different places in the world. The workshops are strictly in person.
Yes. It would be hard to do all these things through online. Okay, today there are really many tools, techniques, therapies. But if you want to help people, and why do you still believe in Louise Hay's work and enthusiastically pass it on to people all over the world?
And I do love going for healing therapies myself. I love healing, Reiki healing you have this year.
Reiki,
yes. Reiki, or massage. But to me, Heal Your Life work is something you bring into your ordinary everyday. You do not need to change your routine unless it suits you to change it. You can bring this work into because it's what's going on in your head. Louise tells us, and I think this was one of the most powerful things for me that I heard, that there is only one person that we will live our whole lives with. From the moment that we are born until the moment that we die, we live our whole lives with only one person, regardless of whether you're married or have children or are single. And that one person is yourself. And when I heard that, I thought, wouldn't it be wonderful to live my whole life with somebody that I liked? And that is what the Heal Your Life work is about. It's about learning to understand yourself, to like yourself, to be happy to live with yourself every single day of your life. And for many, many people, they want to change so badly, but they don't like themselves. And the first step for Louise is, if you really want to change, learn to love yourself. You know, if you want to get orange juice, make sure that it's an orange you're squeezing, because that's what the juice is in. You know, if you try to squeeze a lemon to get orange juice. So if you want love, make sure the love is in you. And that's what our work is.
Yes.
Yes.
And now my favorite question. How can we find work-life balance in our life? I love when she answers on this question.
Life-work balance says to me that your work is not your life. That somehow you may be spending 8 hours a day, but you're not living. It's not true. Balance really, now some people may need balance between work and home, that's very different. But really, if you're present in every single thing that you do, you are living your life. Whether you are at work, or whether you are at home, or whether you are retired, or whether you are deciding that you are going to sit on the beach all day. That balance in life is simply being present to do what you need to do. I think life-work balance was something that was brought in for at the sake of a company making things comfortable. This idea that they would somehow balance life with work and allow you to spend more time working perhaps. No, be present, and if you do not like your job and you would like to change it, remember, change yourself first and your job will change.
And I know when she said, this is bullshit, I say, after more than 30 years of working with people, what would you say to people today? So what is the most important thing for people to live peacefully and joyfully every day, not just when they go to their vacation?
Yep. Really, wink at yourselves every day in the mirror, honestly. Start seeing yourselves in your lives. And, you know, allow yourself to feel joy. So watch children do something that reminds you what it's like to be happy. A lot of us forget in the busyness of life, or because we're in a bad relationship or the wrong job or whatever story is going on in our head, we forget that we can feel joy no matter what. So just bring that thought back to yourself. If you want to have the best possible life, remember what it's like to be happy. Laugh. There is laughter yoga now. I think it's wonderful. It gets people laughing for nothing, and suddenly life is a little bit brighter. So use your mirrors to have a little giggle, but please wink, say hello to yourself, say you're doing the best you can, tell yourself every night before you go to bed, I did the best I could, and I'm willing to change. You're not staying stuck. Be willing.
And this is my question. If you had a dinner today with Louise Hay, what would you ask her?
Oh wow, 1001 questions. She has such knowledge. I think what I'd like to ask her, so Louise Hay passed away a number of years ago, and prior to her passing she was 92, and she said that if you lived a life at peace with yourself, you would pass at peace. And I think I'd love to ask her what's the next adventure when we go from here, because I have no doubt there is one.
So how is it in heaven? Will you return to our beautiful country?
Oh, I want to say a big thank you. My husband Michael, he's here somewhere tonight, and we've had the most wonderful few days. And 𝐶𝐞𝐞𝐬 and Petra and Petra's family have given us the most fabulous time. Thank you. And your country is beautiful, in many ways very similar to Ireland, but you have such beautiful mountains. Oh my goodness. So yes, Petra, will you have me back?
Of course.
We will do a teacher training here. Yes.
Wow, what a talk with you. I'm so happy that you are here tonight with us, and thank you for sharing your wisdom, your love, your energy through this connection. And I'm sure this is not goodbye. I'm sure you will come back, and this is not the last event we are doing together, so I'm happy to meet you again. Before Katja and I share what we prepared today for you as a continuation of this event, I will read my closing message. Why? She doesn't know that. So Eileen brought me energy cards as a gift from Ireland, and today I asked the cards what I need to share as a conclusion for this event. Because I was a little nervous in the morning and tired, the week was long, but I was very happy and filled with all the emotions. That's why I was tired. And I was like, oh, I need an energy for tonight. And I just sat down and I held my dog for like 20 minutes. And look now what my card was saying. So my message today is written on the card. The name of the card is peace. Remember that you can choose peace in any circumstances, even when things around you are chaotic, confusing, or irritating. Breathe deeply and fully and simply choose peace. It can be that simple. If finding peace is a challenge, spend time in nature. It's a universal balancer. Cherish your animal companions, take care of them, and they will take care of you. So I pick up lady, and after that I choose this card.
Beautiful.
We really like to choose cards on every workshops and every coachings because cards always says the right answer. Yes. So now we will switch in Slovene, that Katja will say a few things about herself. Not that she doesn't speak English, she speaks perfect English.
Yes.
But it will be easier and we will do some closure up with her. So wait here. Yes. Katja, please come. That they will see you too.
Okay. Mislim, da me je Petra želela, da jaz tudi nekaj malega povem, predvsem iz vidika, zakaj sem se jaz odločila za to, da postanem healer, life coach in vodja delavnic. V bistvu je tako, da sem...
da te vidijo še tle na YouTube.
V bistvu je tako, da sem tudi sama že skoraj 10 let iskala neprestano neke odgovore, iskala sem poti, kako bi se počutila bolje, kako bi bila bolj zadovoljna s sabo, kako bi bila bolj zadovoljna z življenjem. Čeprav sem na videz v bistvu imela vse, družino, super kariero, pač vse, kar si nekako človek želi, ampak nekaj je bilo nekaj v meni, kar sem neprestano iskala. In se spomnim, da v bistvu to iskanje se je začelo na nek način, ko je moj oče dobil diagnozo neozdravljive bolezni. In takrat je bilo v bistvu to ena taka prelomnica zame, ker sem se nekako, seveda se vsi strašimo, da so bolezni, ki se lahko dedne, a bo tudi mene to doletelo. In tako se je začelo moje iskanje, dokler nisem potem po 10 letih imela priložnost se udeležiti dvodnevne delavnice pri Eileen na Irskem. In nekako prvič, čeprav sem prej imela čudovite izkušnje z različnimi delavnicami, predavanji, s knjigami, ki sem jih brala, vse, ampak šele, ko sem se udeležila, nekako, ko sem začela delati z delom Louise Hay, sem dejansko imela priložnost, da sem se ustavila in se pogledala, kje dejansko sem jaz, kaj so tista moja prepričanja, ki jih imam v sebi, kaj so tiste zgodbe, ki si jih neprestano govorim, kaj so moja sporočila, mogoče negativna sporočila, ki sem jih prejela skozi otroštvo. In tako sem nekako skozi to delo spoznala, da v bistvu delo s čustvi je tako kot telovadba. V bistvu, če samo razmišljamo o tem, da bi radi bili fit, pa da bi si želeli biti močni, pa nič ne naredimo za to, se ne bo nič zgodilo. In enako je pri čustvih. Lahko imamo vso teorijo, ampak dokler ne začnemo v bistvu tega nekako prenašati v vsak dan, oziroma se nekako soočiti sami s sabo, kje smo, o čem razmišljamo, kakšne so naše misli, težko naredimo neko spremembo. In v bistvu eno tako veliko transformacijo sem doživela na delavnici. In čeprav sem se že odločila, da želim spremeniti svojo kariero, prej sem bila direktorica v oglaševalski agenciji, nisem vedela točno kaj, kako, in ko sem nekako imela to izkušnjo, sem potem tukaj vedela, da je to v bistvu tudi moja pot, da želim s tem nadaljevati in tako danes v bistvu počnem, sem coachinja in vodja delavnic in pa predvsem si želim to delo prenesti tudi v podjetja, ker, kakor je rekla Eileen, v bistvu, čeprav imamo vse napredne tehnologije, še vedno smo pa ljudje še vedno vsi nosimo v sebi te svoje čustva, občutke, neke želje in je zelo pomembno, da se ozavestimo, kje smo, kaj nas poganja in kako lahko v bistvu spustimo tiste stvari, ki nam ne koristijo več. In še ena zelo pomembna stvar, ki je mogoče me res prepričala pri delu z Louise Hay, je to, da sem prvič dejansko doživela ta občutek tega brezpogojnega sprejemanja in brezpogojne ljubezni. To je nekaj, po čem v bistvu vsi hrepenimo, ne? In čeprav nas imajo naši starši še tako radi, težko to predajo ali pa tudi mi predamo svojim otrokom, ampak na delavnici se pa res Louise je zasnovala njeno delo tako, da je ta občutek neizogiben, no? In vsaj enkrat, da malo to začutiš, da že potem veš, čemu naprej stremeti. In to je res bila ena taka transformativna izkušnja, ki me je nekako prepričala, da sama v bistvu želim nadaljevati v tem delu in ga širiti.
Se lahko prestaneš tukaj. Ja, zato, kar ste se slišali tudi, kako je vplival na Katjino življenje in tudi na moje, sva se pa odločila in res to je bilo čist intuitivno, čist nič ni bilo to v agendi, da bova ponudila zdaj dvodnevno delavnico za vse vas, ki vas bi zanimala. In to bova naredila marca, 8. in 9. marca, ki je tudi dan žena. Pa tudi marc je tudi za moške mesec, no, tudi imamo učenike imamo. Tako da, ker je nama tako življenje spremenila ta delavnica, nam bolje seveda, ne tiste stvari, ki so bile že zdaj dobre, tiste niso spremenjale. Sva se res odločila, da stopava skupaj in da narediva to delavnico skupaj, ker ponavadi delava vsaka posamezno, vsaka ima zdaj svoj posel, ampak tukaj naj je pa Eileen tudi motivirala in predvsem se je vse tako naravno zgodilo, da sva rekli, v redu, pa greva s to delavnico. In to presenečenje, ko sem pa omenila na koncu, zdaj prvič bomo ponudili to, da je danes ta knjiga, če jo želite kupiti, jo lahko kupite, je enaka cena kot v knjigarni. Če pa bi želeli priti na to delavnico, je pa ta knjiga danes za vas brezplačna, s tem, ko date 20 € pologa, da boste res prišli na delavnico, si s tem rezervirate svoje mesto, tako da dobite danes to knjigo v poklon. In tudi do 15. februarja je zgodnja cena prijave, to se prav so popusti. Mi da imamo to vse na takih letakih napisano, vam bomo razdelili, zato da zdaj izgubljava čas tudi in da ne predstavljava to, ker vse lepo piše. Tako da, a sem še kaj pozabila? Mislim, ne? Okay, so we invited them for the workshop.
Yes.
Do you agree?
Yes, I do. Do you agree?
Okay, so you can tell us your last thought for today. What would you like?
Okay. So for today, what I would really like is for each and every one of you to recognize that in this moment, right now, if you are willing, you can change. Not just something small, but something very significant in your life. The first step and the most important step is just be willing. So I wish you all peace and joy, and thank you so much for being patient with my language. Thank you.